how good is Jarrod Bowen? You know, this guy is never in conversations with the Sakas, with the Palmers, even with like a Rashford, for example. You know, I think people would take Grealish over him. He's never in these conversations, and even for England, no one picks Bowen for their England team. But out of those players that I just listed, in terms of how long he's been doing it for, him and Saka are arguably the two most consistent players there. Well, definitely. And you could actually argue he's the most natural goal scorer. Palmer is just a generational talent, so the guy just scores, right? But in terms of like a natural finisher, goal scorer, out of those options, I think he might be the best. You know, apart from Palmer. He only has 2 goals this year so far in the Premier League. But that finish for the first or second goal, can't remember which one it was, with his left foot into the bottom corner, was outstanding. What I loved about that finish is, well, one, how clean it was. It was perfect, on the floor, into the corner, tough angle, quite far out as well. Very difficult technique to pull off, but we've seen him do this so often. And what players can you actually think that can do that technique over and over and over again, like Jarrod Bowen does? Did a little bit of math, and over the past few years, just looked at his goal contributions in the past 3 years. So in 23-24, last year, he got 30 goal contributions. That is massive. You know, for West Ham under David Moyes, to get 30 goal contributions, it is excellent. That was 20 goals, 10 assists. Season before that was 21 goal contributions, 13 goals, 8 assists. And that was a pretty bad season for West Ham as well. And the season before that, 29 goal contributions, 18 goals, 11 assists. You know, you average that out, you're looking at 26 goals, probably, goal contributions a season. This guy is just he's a huge asset to the Premier League and a massive contributor. And a player that just goes under the radar. And one of those players, if he played it during the Barclays era, people would be saying this is a classic Barclays men type of player. He is a brilliant footballer. When I look at Rashford, right, just the most frustrating footballer maybe on the planet, the attitude and ego problems that guy has, compared to someone like a Jarrod Bowen, who just plays his football and he does it consistently. And to be honest, give me that over Rashford any day of the week. Well, even now, West Ham have not started well at all. Yet, Jarrod Bowen, in 7 games this year, has 2 goals, 2 assists. So that's 4 goal contributions in 7 games. The guy, he's just consistent. He's always there for West Ham, and when they need him. He's West Ham's best player ever, right? Like, it's a club with great history. It's a big club in the Premier League. But I don't think anyone's contributed as much in the Premier League maybe as Jarrod Bowen. He scored in the final, won them a trophy. I think he is West Ham's best ever player, unless history is just like, I'm losing someone in my mind, very obvious. Even not, in the modern era, 100%. He's currently 23 goals behind Mikel Antonio. Antonio's on 68 Premier League goals. He's West Ham's top scorer ever. Jarrod Bowen is on 45. He's going to get that for West Ham. He's going to get 23 goals. He's probably going to get 15 to 20 again this year, you'd imagine. So it's going to take 2 or 3 seasons to break that Antonio record. And then he has a massive case to be the best player ever. 30 goal contributions. I'm just reading that again. That's insane. 29 in 21-22, 21 in 22-23, 30 in 23-24. I know I'm repeating myself, but 30 goal contributions. That is insane. It actually is insane. I can't believe how much that has gone under the radar. The guy's 27 as well. He turns 28 in December. But importantly, he has a contract with West Ham until 2030. Now, I like to look at players' careers and look at what they've done, right? He's in an interesting period. He's in his prime now, 27, 28. But that long contract at West Ham kind of rules out any move, apart from maybe one that I have thought of. To me, Jarrod Bowen's a very Man United player. And I mean that with as a very high compliment. You know, I don't mean the Man United because they're bad. I mean, as a typical Man United player, the greatest club in England, Jarrod Bowen to me is a very Man United player. Good attitude, works hard, British, winger, scores goals, you know, gives everything 100% and wants to win, doesn't strop, gets on with his work, and more importantly, is a very good footballer. So to me, he's always been a very Man United player. I've said that for a while. But the only team I can actually see him move into, if he does get a move, is Newcastle. Because let's be honest, no one abroad is signing fucking Jarrod Bowen, are they? So it's West Ham or Newcastle for the rest of his career, I think. Because I don't think anyone else from the top six is going to sign him. He's like one of those players that's very good, but doesn't really get highlighted and isn't really an attractive player, I don't think, for big clubs. So he's just in that perfect bracket for West Ham. And maybe in Newcastle, because Newcastle kind of like those players as well. So I think he'll finish his career, maybe not finish, but play out his prime years in one of these two clubs. And I think it will be West Ham. And a very strong legacy he has there already. And he's also dating Danny Dyer, so that helps, doesn't it? But another 4 or 5 years at West Ham, this guy's going to have like a really strong legacy at that club. And I think as he goes on, a strong legacy in the Premier League, similar to a Wilfried Zaha at Crystal Palace. But I think Bowen could eclipse Wilfried Zaha, you know, very easily. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about Jarrod Bowen, highlight how good I think he is. Because once again, I think he's going to have a good year.